As you can tell from my videos, I'm kind of an Overwatch fan. I have played this game for over 500 hours now, and I have enjoyed learning how each character works, but for the past few seasons, I feel like the spark isn't there. So as I wait for Season 9 of Overwatch 2, which honestly might be out once this video is uploaded, I decided to take a break and play a different game, and this game not only inspired Overwatch, but the entire team-based shooter genre, Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 was released on October 10th, 2007. That means this year, the game is gonna hit its 17th year anniversary, and the game is still being played by thousands of people. And I ask myself, how? Just how is this game still loved and played by so many? Most games nowadays can't even last a year or even a month of relevancy, but Team Fortress 2 has been riding that wave for nearly 2 decades. In order to answer my question, I decided to boot up the game and play it. So join me as I talk about the good, the bad, and if this game still holds up in 2024. One of the most important things about any video game is how fun the gameplay loop is. Because if the gameplay loop or the main meta is just repetitive, the game will get stale very fast. For instance, the start of Season 8 of Overwatch 2 was the Malga meta, and it was one of the most boring metas out there because it was just the same match over and over and over again with no variety. Everyone was forced to play the same set of characters because if you don't, it was impossible to win. However, for Team Fortress 2, it doesn't really have any repetitive issues. This is coming from my own experience in non-competitive lobbies because in those matches, each team consists of 12 players. And you're allowed to stack the same characters on your team. This makes every single match in TF2 completely different from one another, because in one game you can literally have 5 pyros on your team. Like what? Or in the next game you can have an even spread of characters on your team. These varieties of characters you're facing or have on your team is one reason on how the gameplay loop doesn't get stale. You're always going to experience a different match when you load up a game. And this isn't considering the loadouts, which I'll talk about later. And what's amazing is that each playable character are so satisfying to play because most of these characters have hit or miss weapons. These type of weapons will make every elimination feel more earned because it wasn't an overpowered ability that won you that fight. It was your own skill alone that determined the outcome of that battle. And if you do lose, it's a chance to learn from your mistakes and try something new. In this game, you can feel yourself improving by the second, and you just don't need some rank, some medal, or whatever rank system there is in other games to tell you how good you are. You know by gameplay and trial and error that you are improving and you're becoming a better player. Incorporate this with great movement, fun maps, unique characters, and crazy potential for each class, the game loop is just addicting. And speaking about the characters, Team Fortress 2 may only have 9 characters, but these guys are one of the most memorable cast of characters that you'll ever see in gaming. Because Valve was able to bring these characters to life by giving each of them their own distinct personalities that correlates perfectly with their gameplay mechanics. A great example of this comes from the character Scout. From what we can see through dialogue, comics, and videos Valve put up, we can tell that he's a fast, confident, and loudmouth type of person who believes that he's on top of the food chain. Valve was able to take these personality traits and incorporate them into his gameplay, which is all about being fast and getting elims. His additional speed and ability to double jump allows you to put the pressure on the enemies, and with your high damage shotgun, you can secure a crazy amount of eliminations and escape scot-free. Doing this enough time will make you feel like you're on top of the world, because who's gonna stop you? Not these guys. Bang, bang, wah, bang, bang, bang. Oh, one more? Wow. Valve nailed these characters by making sure that their abilities and personalities fit together. This makes the game feel more immersive and fun to play. Of course, this philosophy doesn't just apply to Scout. For instance, Spy. He is a deceptive, cunning, and calculated person. His whole mechanic is about finding the right moment to backstab the enemy. To help with this, Spy was given the ability to disguise himself as the enemy and to be invisible. So in order to get that backstab, you have to be cunning. You have to infiltrate the enemy's backline. You have to blend in with them. You have to deceive them. And once the opportunity arises, you get that backstab. You are the spy. And that's so great, and that's so awesome to feel when you play this game. And you get that feeling for every single character in Team Fortress 2. And what's amazing about these characters is that each of them can be played in many different ways. All thanks to the loadout system in Team Fortress 2 was probably the best decision Valve made for the longevity of this game, because these loadouts allow you to play the characters in a whole new light. Some of them are simple, like the Power Jack or Pyro, which gives him faster movement speed and health restoration upon an elimination. But some of these loadouts changes the way you play the character entirely, while still keeping the core mechanics of that character. Let's look at the Engineer. He's a building type character where he wants to set up his machines in order to help out his teammates. These varies from teleporters, dispensers, and his massive sentry that annihilates anything in his path. But after destroying the lobby with your sentry turret, you kind of don't want to sit in the backlines anymore and watch the action unfold. You want to be there. You want to cause the action yourself. Well, thanks to the loadout system, you can play as a battle engineer. First things first, having different loadouts doesn't make you into a different class entirely. A battle engineer is still an engineer. You still need to use your buildings to help you win a fight. You gotta understand when's the perfect time to push forward or when's the perfect time to go back to your buildings and support your team. Battle engineer is a mindset, and you gotta understand that in order to perform optimally. Here's a quick example. I was able to get most of my buildings here in this one spot, and I decided to push forward a bit, and I noticed this soldier. Obviously the soldier noticed me and he chased me, but I wanted that to happen, so then I can lead him straight to my domain where my sentry's at. But that soldier knew what I was doing, so he decided to shoot from afar in a safe distance away from my sentry turret. But little did he know that I knew that he was more focused on my sentry turret than anything else. So I took the opportunity and I shot him down. I controlled the environment of that fight in order to get the most value as a battle engineer. Another trick as a battle engineer is to be braver than the enemy expects, because mostly everyone thinks they're defenseless without the crits from your Frontier Justice or being close to your sentry turret. But the thing is, you still have a gun, and that does damage. These different loadouts allow you to experiment and express a character in a new light, while still keeping the soul of that character. Except for Demo Knight. I don't have him yet, but every time I go up against him, I'm like, damn, what? But I think it's time to start talking about the negatives of Team Fortress 2. Does Valve hate money? I have never seen a company that has such a dedicated fan base that's still willing to play a game that hasn't had a major update in 7 years. Most video game companies dream of having a community like Team Fortress 2, and yet Valve does, and they're doing nothing with it. They're just milking this game over and over and over again until every single drop of money is gone. The quote-unquote updates Team Fortress 2 does get is all community made. The maps, the emotes, the hats, it's all made by the community. Valve is literally doing nothing and makes fans of this game do all the work while they get most of the profits. It's just so sad to see a company that was known for revolutionizing gaming to now only seeing players' wallets and not the players themselves. This negligence on Valve's part allowed for the existence of bots, which are snipers that will always get a fully powered headshot. These bots appear in games and they always take away the fun out of it. Of course, you can always try banning these bots from your lobby, but eventually you'll run into one and it'll ruin the fun of Team Fortress 2. Even with the lack of care Valve seems to have with Team Fortress 2, the community is what really keeps this game alive. It is because of the community that new people like myself are joining in on the fun. Like I said before, most updates that we get are community made because they don't want to see this amazing game go to waste. It's really incredible to see a game that came out in 2007 getting more things done right than games that came out today. So I want to thank the TF2 community for keeping this game alive so I and many others can experience this wonderful game. So what are y'all waiting for? This game is the Triple F. Free, fun, and fantastic. There really isn't any other games like this, so hope you consider downloading it, and I hope I'll see you in the battlefield. Until then, I'll see you later. Hey guys, Dimway the Gamer here. I just want to say, if you like this video, please consider subscribing because that shows me that you guys want to see more content like this. Also, I'd like to shout out Jeg's Art for making the thumbnail of this video, and it looks fantastic, like it really does. So you want to see more art like this, go to his Instagram and give it a follow. Anyways, that's gonna be all. Hope you enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.